All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about something that's incomprehensible because it's just so sad. And doing what I do in real time for a few real people just like you and just like me. All right. This story popped up on my feed, and I was like, what? Junkyard singer David Roach dies weeks after getting married, aged 59. 59. Now, if you don't know Junkyard, I get it, but they're really good. And we used to play them on our classic rock station, which was kind of like a hybrid classic rock and then new stuff that sounded like classic rock. This is why I always rail against what's happening on classic rock stations these days, where they're just playing super old stuff and they're just playing the same songs over and over again. How about putting on Junkyard Slipping Away? How about that? Co-written by Steve Earle. By the way, everybody is describing this band as a heavy metal band and this and that and the other. I don't know. It's a rock band. It's a hard rock band with Southern influences. And they were really good. Their debut album, 1989. Again, we were playing it on the station I worked at because I remember having that album. Those two albums, that one and the one from 1991, Sixes, Sevens, and Nines. That was a great album. All right, so let's get to this story. And they show a picture of David Roach, and wow, this was an aggressive form of cancer that did him in. Again, this story is heartbreaking. So, rock singer David Roach from the 80s heavy metal band Junkyard. Okay, we'll go with your definition. I don't necessarily agree with that, but you know, music can be whatever these days. There are no genres. It's easy if you try. He died at 59, just weeks after getting married. Now, he had a GoFundMe page. The U.S. musician had been diagnosed with an aggressive form of skin cancer called squamous cell carcinoma, or squamous. I'm thinking it might be squamous, but I don't know. It affected his head, his neck, and his throat. Typically, skin cancers, you spot them and you get rid of them, right? So this, again, and I know people who watch my channel, they're going to wonder what I think about the stuff that was going on 4 years ago and whether or not he did this or not, because there have been reports that that wonderful, super safe and effective product exacerbates, accelerates. You know, if it is and it does, shouldn't we know whether this had anything to do with what happened here with David Roach? Shouldn't we know? Shouldn't we be all hands on deck trying to figure that out? Oh, you just blame everything on this, man. You always go to this, and then I don't watch your channel anymore. Okay, then don't watch the channel. Don't watch the channel. I'd like people to live longer than 59. All right? Since I'm a little older than 59, I would like people to live longer than 59. That's what I'm saying here. All right? The diagnosis was described as a devastating blow to Roach, especially after he finally found happiness with his wife, Jennifer, who stepped away from full-time employment to care for him. I think I need to link to this GoFundMe page because my guess is Jennifer probably needs a little help right about now. So I will link to that. I can't believe this. I mean, things happen like this and you just shake your head. Why? Why? A statement from the band revealed that Roach had died yesterday. It was with great sadness that we announced the passing of David Roach. This, according to the band's surviving members. After a courageous battle with cancer, David passed away peacefully. Now, it doesn't say how long he'd been battling the cancer. but I'm not sure if the marriage was done so he could at least do that while he was alive. That's what it appears to be here. The statement described him as a gifted artist, performer, songwriter, and singer. All of that, by the way, is true. Even though you might not be familiar with Junkyard, you should go listen to him. Way underrated. Way underrated. I'm pretty sure the 90s and the style shift from the 90s stopped them cold in their tracks. That's just my humble opinion, based on the kind of sound and the kind of music they were making. That's probably what happened here. It goes on to say, our thoughts are with the entire Roach family and everyone who loved him. Roach rose to fame after co-founding Junkyard in 1987 in Los Angeles with bandmates from other bands, including Minor Threat, Big Boys, and Dag Nasty. They signed to Geffen Records the following year and released their self-titled debut in 1989. A follow-up album called Sixes, Sevens, and Nines, that's the one I used to listen to a little bit more frequently, was produced by Ed Stasium, who also produced Motorhead, the Ramones, and the Talking Heads, while country rock legend Steve Earle, see, now you really need to go back and listen to this track, co-wrote and provided backing vocals for the song Slippin' Away, which we had in rotation. It's a great song. Junkyard split in 1992 after being dropped by Geffen shortly after recording their third album. Roach went on to form the band Baracho before later returning with his bandmates Patrick Mazingo, Todd Muscat, and Brian Baker, with the addition of Tim Mosher on guitar and vocals. They released further albums, including 2017's High Water and 2019's Old Habits Die Hard, which was originally recorded in 1992. So that was the album that they would have released if the record label didn't drop them. I'm sure the label dropped them because the trends had changed, and thus they weren't willing to promote something that sounded like rock, or at least the rock that people had been listening to for, I don't know, 30 or 40 years prior to that. So this is just a super sad story about David Roach. 59 years old, was in a great underrated band, had this very aggressive form of skin cancer. So anyway, I'm going to post the link to the GoFundMe page if I can find that for you. Prayers for his wife, Jennifer, who married this guy and now is a widow. It's just crazy. This is just a crazy story. I don't like this story at all. I don't like it. But there it is. All right, folks. With that said, Jesus is the only hope we have. All right? Just putting it out there. Jesus Christ, he's our only hope. We don't have any other hope other than Jesus Christ. So keep that in mind. God bless everyone, and I will see you soon.